My home was waiting with an open arms for me to go back and remember who I am. But my home was waiting with an open arms for me to go back.
I hate this reality of fighting against each other. It doesn't make sense. Why do we have to dominate each other? Why do we have to dominate anyone? Why do we have to, why can't we just be? I think if we need any laws, they would be to protect, to not hurt each other. I feel like that's the only reason that any law should exist, to protect harm from landing, to protect harm from being intentional,
yes,
and for being passed on to other people.
But it seems like we're far away from that, because if you look at the on-continent turmoils going on, tribal issues, a
lot of the laws now are for protecting power and wealth.
Yes.
You know, and it's like, if you're interfering with my wealth, I could kill you.
Definitely.
And as long as I'm in power, I would get away with it, and I would, and the law might even support me. I recently watched a film, a documentary about gold mining in South Africa, and a lot of people, so especially in the initial days, the mining was not with, the drills did not have like a system of water. So apparently now it's better when you're drilling with high pressure water, because then it kind of dissolves this dust that causes like a lot of illnesses. And I think the name of the disease was cirrhosis and TB, and
maybe I should show you guys where we are. Don't be jealous though. Look, we are at the seafront. Look at that. Look at the beautiful environment, you know. So we're just enjoying ourselves here. So yes, and the wind says, you're leaving me out. I'm going to show you guys a bit. So do bear with us for a while.
So for me, the strangest thing is that people were dying for gold, for this mineral that we have decided is a rare mineral, and that we have decided is valuable. And like me watching this film to the end made it clear that everyone decided that this mineral is more precious than human life.
Yeah.
And like, you going and doing a 18-month contract to dig up this mineral, which expires you from life, which basically has you like with no possibility for ever working again, or you know, like, which kind of reduces your life expectancy so significantly. Is completely okay, because you're creating more value. So I mean, again, I think I'm very much like a humanist. So I'm like, maybe we should decide collectively that gold has no value, because how can this metal be more valuable than human life? And I think it's how we choose what is valuable, or what is value, and how we decide on this. And it's so sad that we are okay to die. We are okay for people to die for things.
I know. You know.
And strange.
It's strange, and it's now a norm. It's an acceptable way of life to see the poverty in our society, to see people in our society suffering so much, and we are just happy to let them suffer. We are willing to live in luxurious apartments and drive all of this wonderful big cars, and from our windows, you know, roll it down a bit and just throw a bit of money and say, oh, I'm being benevolent, I am a good person. Something is dead in the soul of man. And I think that it is this insatiable feeling of, I need more to be more. And my irony, like I've always said, you know, in terms of the African spirituality, the continent, we are already complete as a people. we were a people of Ubuntu. We wanted to live communally. Food wasn't a problem because you would serve anyone or everyone that came to your home and around you. And you even would take care of other relatives of yours. And that is the whole idea of Ubuntu.
My mom
but
and
modernization
granddad were telling me about like how the last crop, the last row of maize on the farm was left for the traveler. So like it was there for any traveler who was passing along, and if someone got onto your farm and just touched that last row, it was not. You did not consider them a thief because it was there for them,
And that's such a good practice. I remember traveling the northern parts of Nigeria as well, and the northern parts of Nigeria is more into arable land and a lot of cropping, and they would have excess tomatoes and it would rot away. So after harvesting, they also just left it there, and you could just stop by the roadside, pick a sack or take as much as you wanted, and it wasn't a problem. And I think that spirit isn't dead in Africans. I think is that we have stopped evaluating where we are, and we have stopped wanting to be that simple people, because the world we live in now, and we mustn't pretend that it is of no influence. It is truly the world of power, dominance and money, and it would almost seem like without those three things you really are nothing. So what would you say to Africans everywhere in terms of what do you see of the Africa of the future, and who is in charge of this Africa that you see?
that
was a loaded one, isn't it?
I hope that the African can be in charge of the Africa of the future. That's my hope. That's my prayer.
Why is it a hope? Why is it not a belief? Because is it not a belief? Why is it a hope? Is it gone?
It's scary because I feel like unless we remember ourselves, unless we remember humanity.
And that's what Ajemiposi Africa is about. Remember who you are.
Yeah, we may not get there because I feel like our politicians today are bidding Africa to the highest bidder, and so I don't know how we will not be recolonized unconsciously even. So maybe and it doesn't have to be, let's say, the first leg of colonization was with the white man. So it may not be the white man. It may be we may be recolonized by technology. We may be recolonized, but who controls technology? We may be recolonized by. So I really wish and pray and hope that we will be a free Africa, but we have to do the work to get there. I think because of the loudness of capitalism, it's not going to be as easy as just waiting for the future. We have to sort of fight for the future. We have to, and fighting doesn't mean physical. We have to be intentional about this future. Yeah. And
deliberate,
we have to,
a deliberate
intentional
policy
and
or
deliberate.
intentions and
Exactly.
wanting it more than life itself.
And I think we have to remember humanity, and we have to be more considerate of humanity over ourselves.
Yeah.
Could we return to Ubuntu? How could we return to Ubuntu? How could we not just want to? I think one of the biggest questions I wonder about power, and this can be very scary, is if we talk about freedom, or if we imagine talking about freedom, and if we relate it to like the oppression that we have suffered, this is like a very scary question to ask out loud. But like, do we want to be free, or do we want to be the new dominators? Do we want?
And you're right, because we do dominate ourselves too. It's within. we do it to ourselves. We do it via the politicians, the oligarchies, even the commoners do it within.
Exactly. So
we're tribalistic.
If
we lack
got
tolerance
the
amongst
power
ourselves too.
to be politicians, would we
even worse?
Yeah, exactly. Or would we make Africa better? Would we make our systems better, or would we now be in the position to collect for ourselves individually? And I don't think I think that's the biggest problem of humanity. This selfishness, this need to amass for self, and
absolutely amass for self, and generations unborn, making them inadequate or handicapped of using their own time and mind and creativity, innovation for their time, that they will be here. And you're already saving for the 10th generation by stealing and maiming all of others' resources, our collective resources. And you're so right, because I agree with you that we need to have to do that internal work and make that decisions. And many people would feel that it's a waste of time. Oh, this is the only way I know. But one thing I know for sure on Ajemiposi Africa TV and on our website is, for those that choose to want to be back to their roots, remembering who you are, the goodness of your own continent, the amazingness of your own family tree, your own roots, we're here to help you be that. And that is what we do on Ajemiposi Africa. And by bringing this to show you that no matter how educated you are, with a PhD, with the masters living abroad, this is being recorded in the UK right now, you can still be your African self and be proudly African. And one of the other things I say to people is, don't be the one to curse and put Africa to shame, because if others are doing it and then we do it to ourselves, we have no choice, than to be pointed at as in, that gave us the liberty to treat you the way we are treating you. I want to say a big thank you to you for being a part of this wonderful edition of the Ajemiposi Africa TV show on YouTube. But I want you to tell us more about your work in Kenya. And is this my invitation to come to Kenya? Do I have an invitation? To come to Kenya?
Yes, everyone is welcome to Kenya.
Guys,
please come to Nairobi.
Oh my God.
And if you come to Nairobi, ask me for an art tour. I can show you around art spaces.
You'd better be watching.
Around what artists
That's
are doing.
That's going to happen soon. And when is the best time to come to Kenya? When is the best time to come to Nairobi?
It depends on what you want to see. So
fun. We have the culture, the food. My audience will tell you I love the food and the culture, the women, the creativity, the local economy. Those are the beautiful things I want to come see and showcase on Ajemiposi Africa.
Much that's so beautiful in Kenya. So Nairobi is active throughout the year, besides when people go on holiday. So how we put it is, Nairobi is no one's home. Nairobi is where people come to work.
So Nairobi is the world.
Yeah, so Nairobi is not really, exactly. So Nairobi is where everyone comes to the city or to the place of, this is kind of sad or scary to say, but I'm going to be like, Nairobi is the mine, sort of. It's not just necessarily terrible,
I think that I would equate that to Lagos in Nigeria.
Exactly.
So you're talking about the city, where all of that takes place.
Exactly.
Like we're seated here, and across the river, we can literally we're seeing the city and Canary Wharf, where is the seat of all of the wealth of, here, the empire.
But everyone has a village. So in the holidays, Nairobi gets very empty. So like December for Christmas, sometimes in August when the kids have closed. But mostly in December, Nairobi can be a bit deserted, like the city itself. But people have... if you know someone in the village and they can invite you over for Christmas,
you're my host, so you
cool.
should be planning all that.
True. But otherwise, the coast, we have a very beautiful coastline. Malindi, Kilifi, Lamu. Lamu is one of my favorite places. Mombasa is also like really, really great. Mombasa is really great. So I'm just
Fantastic.
See,
it's so.
And then there's a lot of
sold it to us really well. So
usually like fun things,
and
like
you know
the Rift
truth
Valley
of this,
to see
and you know
road
the truth of
trips.
this, being home, being within your own people, the fun is so different. It's so organically good, and it feels good as well. So before you pack your good bags and going abroad or further abroad to every other destination, think Africa first. Come to Nairobi, come to Kenya, come to Nigeria, come to Lagos, come to Ghana. And of course, if it's that's in December, you know where that is. Even though I don't know about the dirtiness indeed. But I just like the idea of, you know, the return in that large quantity of people going back to Africa. But it shouldn't just be in December, it should be all year round. And one of the ways you can start doing that now is by looking out for all the events that's going to be taking place, and we have all of that on Ajemiposi Africa TV.
There's also like a lot of natural things like the wildebeest migrations moving across the Serengeti. There's so many things that you can come to Kenya for, or you can come to Africa for.
Thank you. So what's your final message for everyone watching out there, both Africans, non-Africans, everywhere? What's your African message to them?
So there's this Bob Marley song. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. Na, 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 na. I think can we just return to our roots? Can we think for ourselves? Can we think for our own interests? Can we stop looking at the shiny things and the dangling carrots that are being dangled in front of us? If we could return to, maybe it's hard to say return to your culture if you don't even know what that is. So maybe returning to your awareness, returning to your consciousness. I think all of us can find that. That's like a nice first step, and then maybe now our cultures are tools for that. Tools for returning to ourselves. Let's stop running for the gold, for the things that are shiny,
and run towards peace, nature, and community, love, humanity, essence, and compassion. And what a beautiful way to end this wonderful interview, which I have enjoyed so much. I don't know about you, but I suspect you did as well. And my one word to us all that I always say on the show is, Africa is ours. And until we, the owners of Africa, take ownership and we're ready to die for Africa, only then can Africa be the Africa that you and I carry, its lineage, its fabric, its essence in our soul. And where else is best to start your next best investment, thoughts, ideas, creativity, innovation, other than the continent? And on that note, I would say till next time when we come again on the show with another fascinating guest, I say Africa loves you and I love you, and Africa is ours. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's say bye to our guest. Bye now. Bye. Take care. Thank you.
My home was waiting with an open arms for me to go back and remember who I am. But my home was waiting with an open arms for me to go back and remember.